So I'm sharing today about lies, people pleasing, um, and the desire and need really to see the best in others. So first I started with, what are the similarities between me and Sam? It was a roommate I had who I was feeling like a lot of judgment toward him. I felt he was fake. I felt he was immoral. And I used to be desperately craving of approval and lonely enough to betray myself and my values and sustainable happiness, peace, and relationships for a fix of narcissist fake love. I didn't know how to say or show I'm sorry or express remorse because it could be easier to passively let the other's displeasure, dissatisfaction ruin the relationship. And another past thing was throwing others under the bus to stay safe myself. Didn't reciprocate thoughtfulness or generosity or kindness or gestures of concern, inclusion, or care. Resisting the change in ways of empty control in order to not be forced to adapt out of my comfort zone, aka growth by choice. And some things I was outgrowing was I didn't always know how to say or show or express the remorse, right? But also I didn't allow anyone to see or know my vulnerabilities because I had too much pride to let others know that I wanted them or needed them. And these are like basically to be kind of fake, like the lies I overthanked or overpraised. It embarrassed people. Actually, I'm displacing my self-love, ashamed of my brokenness, not being able to say or hear no or say or act like I don't know, lingering in that horrible pressurizing pain of when I navigate others' expectations relentlessly. And I can handle rejection and disapproval from others, but not me. So really, when we're in people-pleasing, where the internal anger happens at saying yes, we become psychotically spent, disappointed expectations of being told I'm good and special all the time, parents looking to us to be perfect and godly and solve all their problems into a debilitating anxiety of intrusive thoughts. And when we start doing supporting and not harming, it's called a wise livelihood. Work is time and attention, attitude beyond the money, and approach of services and care in and out of the workspace while accepting all jobs, maintaining intentions, making sure I can contribute to my community, and saving my own life matters most when I'm not here to suffer. And there's a gift to see what I'll never, it's a gift to see that I'll never permit something again. Having to be rigorous in recovery is to not make excuses endlessly for others or rescue people or take care of them. Or basically grace is available even in anger, because if we're programmed to survive by feeling so responsible for others that we put them first and their needs and comfort, and we can start to say, I'm ready to be selfish again. I wasn't always meant to be and wasn't able like before, but I'm not going to prove I'm kind and loving and good anymore. There's a hopeless, helpless, trapped feeling that happens, but actually we still have options. We don't need to, when we need to heal with someone who is needing to heal with someone who's wounded is, we can do it with rescued animals or in a safe container like a program, but it doesn't have to be my job when someone is unhealthy or toxic. I can remember I'm a precious little child and focus on that part of myself and not others. And life can be messy. Sometimes it's a mitzvah to be selfish. Mitzvah means a good deed, a commandment. We don't have to let someone who isn't bad still be contributing to unhealthiness. And we have our own self in our own corner. We're growing. We're not trying to repeat the same things, not even willing to face the pain to heal the self. Now, we want to live, so we have to feel the fear and do it anyway. And we can't heal others' past while we're in it, right? And I had a conversation with someone, that was with my mentor, Rochelle, and had a talk with someone named Sprouty about finding solace in drugs, sometimes in comfort and absence, in the absence of love. But we can come back even though the teenage years formed me, like that was what I was around. But I can trust my selfishness. If I trust myself, that I'm a non-harmer in my true nature, I can trust my gut is safe, and that, you know, I can talk a lot when I'm anxious because it calms me down, but it's not the worst way to cope. I am the space between up and down, right and left. I can choose for myself how high I want to climb and how far I want to fall. And unregulated growth is like building a castle on quicksand. We have to know what's good for us, and we have to take our power back, because it isn't doing anything wrong from disempowering if we make sure we don't lose our initial focus. Happiness from sadness, you know, we even turn our sadness into happiness. And that we recognize there's this indirect way of meeting our needs through others. It's not like we're a child anymore. We don't need one person alone, like a mother or father, to do it. And remembering that if I could be me, if I'm nice and someone takes advantage, I can stop being nice. My background prepared me. I don't have to be the nice person. I could be me. My background prepared me to cope and manage, even like, for example, I think with my mother, rather, and I could trust that I have a good conscience. Like, I punish myself when I think I'm being punished instead of recognizing the gifts of God are walking me home, trusting that even if it feels bad or inappropriate, it's not my fault. It is bad or inappropriate. And I still have to find my zen, my calm, my outgrowing these things in order to be in safety. And some people downpress and some people uplift, some into environments to, coming into, and they cause problems. And I had a talk with someone else I had two other talks I want to share, and then one more comment. This is a talk with Bailey. It's okay to have a guard up first to protect myself from relationships that aren't safe or approachable, accessible, patient, selfish in a healthy way, self-full, or respecting differences. Indirectly creating scenarios where people reject me because I don't want to take care of them could be where I learn how I have to state my needs and boundaries directly, and it requires courage, tremendous courage, willingness to grow, and rewriting a program causes fear. So sometimes, like, I'm willing to do it a new way can cause the brain and the psyche to be afraid. I had a talk with Cheryl that this is a gift, not a punishment, when things are not going the way I thought. It's not worse or better than anyone. I'm just me. And in God's eyes, I have nothing to prove because God's holding me up, giving me the strength, and I can ask God what the next steps are for me. Big changes is like, whether it's apartment, roommates, lead me where you have me go. Learn to rest in God, supplying my needs rather than figuring it all out. This will be my morning glory breakthrough from the night. I can open and be out and blossom to freedom, and noticing that if people aren't doing what God wants, they're not going to be a good influence on me. God wants the best for me. And then, in other words, now, basically the theme has been a lot of like the self-defeating, assuming who I am isn't enough, and I have to prepare for problems that others will have with me. Taking other people's needs onto myself as an obligation, unclear when I should also share my experience, strength, and hope, and choosing who I want to invite in my life. And someone shows me where I'm creating my own problems, compromising my own values to avoid rejection, hypervigilance of others' patterns, or putting aside my interest to do what others want, lavish gifts on favors and those I want to influence, harshly critical of others' actions and words, believing others can't take care of themselves, staying loyal in unhealthy, toxic relationships, accepting sexual attention when I want love, and difficulty identifying my feelings and needs, and minimizing my true feelings. So when we do things for others that they can do for themselves, it's a denial pattern of my own fear, hurt, and anger, and impatience and resentment and triggers where I'm perceiving myself as completely unself. And that's actually lacking empathy for the needs and feelings of others. That's the dark side of codependency. We don't recognize the availability of people we're attracted to. We're embarrassed to receive recognition of praise or seek it to overcome low feelings, difficulty admitting mistakes, lying and masking to appear better, difficulty getting started, meeting deadlines, or completing projects because of other sense of the energy being drawn up with other people. And I'll stop here and wish you a good rest of your day. Bye.